Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, October 12. In Squiz Kids Today, Australia votes on The Voice. Fake snake in South America. Fat Bear Week crowns a winner and dogs go to church. That's what's making news, kid style.
The Lowdown.
Unless you've been living under a rock, and if you have, I hope your back's okay, because that sounds really uncomfortable, you'd be aware that there's a referendum happening this weekend on something called an Indigenous Voice to Parliament. That means every Australian of voting age, so everyone over the age of 18, will be asked to respond yes or no to the question of whether we should alter the Constitution to create an advisory body for First Nations Aussies to offer their ideas to the politicians in Canberra. Now, I know that's a lot of big ideas and big words, so let me break it down. It's kind of like the school representative council at your school, where a bunch of students are invited to tell the principal the sort of things that they'd like to see happen at the school from a student's perspective. Schools, community halls, government buildings all over the country, and in lots of countries overseas, will be open for voting this Saturday as the nation casts its vote, and maybe picks up a sausage from the sausage sizzle on the way. It's a big event for the country, and there'll be lots of news around about it over the weekend. Unfortunately, there'll also be a lot of misinformation as well, meaning Squizzy the Newshound will be having a very busy weekend, sniffing out fake news and other online rubbish. Misinformation, as those of you who have already done our free media literacy podcast for primary school kids will know, is information that is not true, very often spread on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stories that aren't true, videos that aren't real, all created by people to try to make you think and feel and react in a certain way. So, remember this weekend, above all weekends, to stop, think, and check, as Squizzy says, before believing everything you see, read, or hear on the internet. Oh, and tell your parents too. And if you want to bone up on referendums, then you should definitely check out Gang Gang's Guide to Referendums, a two-part podcast we produced with the Museum of Australian Democracy in Canberra, where Gang Gang the Cockatoo finds out all about what a referendum is and how it works. Links available in today's episode notes, or you can find it on our website, squizkids.com.au. You're welcome.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in South America, which is apparently the setting of an online video that's been viewed more than 87 million times. Now, on the subject of newshounds, Squizzy and fake online content, this story is a doozy. The video, which has been widely shared on Instagram and TikTok, shows a man running away from a massive, and I mean massive, python, which is chasing him down an alleyway. We're talking Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets style big. I've stuck a link to it in today's episode notes. But, as Squizzy the Newshound reports, various fact-checking websites have examined the video and found it to be a fake. A, because it's obviously been digitally edited, and B, because pythons don't move that quickly, and C, because if it was real, proper news websites would have done stories about it. Another reason to always be on the lookout for fake stories and videos when we're online. And if your classroom wants to join the more than 1,700 around the country who have started the Newshounds pilot program, our free 8-part media literacy podcast and classroom resources called Newshounds, get your teacher to sign up quick sticks at squizkids.com.au. You're welcome again.
Animal Kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a winner. After weeks of intense competition, following months of each contestant stuffing their faces with as much food as possible, A winner of Alaska's Fat Bear Week was announced yesterday, and she is one mighty contender. Grazer is a proud mum of multiple bear cubs and the first female winner of the prestigious Get Fat Quick eating competition. In the end, it came down to two gloriously fat furries, Grazer and Chunk, a great big male bear. Put to an online vote, there was a clear winner, however, with Grazer attracting more than 108,000 votes to Chunk's 23,000 votes. That, my friends, is what we call a landslide victory. So, take a bow, Grazer. If you can get past your own enormous belly, that is. And now, go and enjoy a well-deserved hibernation, living off all those extra kilos that you've packed on over the summer. Squiz Kids salutes you.
Believe it or not.
Do you have a dog? What will they be getting up to this weekend? A run in the park, a swim at the beach or down in the creek, sleeping at your feet, or probably in your bed. Maybe your dog will be heading off to church on Sunday. Because that's what more and more poochers around the country are doing since churches started inviting owners to bring in their furry friends to have them blessed by a priest or minister. Last week marked the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of animals, which saw lots of churches invite pet owners to attend with their four-legged friends. A chance, according to the churches, for dogs to come along and be blessed, and thanked for all the great work they do being faithful companions to us humans. I say woof to that.
Q&A call-out.
Hey team, did you hear the news? The next high-profile guest to take the Squiz Kids hot seat is none other than Australia's first female Prime Minister, Julia Gillard. You know the drill. Send in any questions you, the kids of Australia, would like to ask her, and we'll select the best 10 to put to her. Thanks to those of you who have already sent questions in. They're fantastic. And a special shout out to 7-year-old Lincoln in Geraldton, WA, who wants to ask the former PM what footy team she follows, whether she's been to Geraldton, and whether she likes cashews. Teachers, this is a great chance to get your classrooms thinking about questions they would ask an Australian Prime Minister. Questions like, how did it feel to be Australia's first female PM? What does it take to become Prime Minister? Is it a job she'd recommend? What was the hardest part of being PM? And of course, whether she's a Taylor Swift or a Harry Styles fan. You know, all the important stuff. But look lively. You've only got until next Friday to get your questions in. So, don't just sit there. Get submitting questions already. Send them to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au.
Squiz Kids Live.
Can you hear that? That's the sound of me packing my suitcase and getting ready to fly to Canberra this weekend to take to the stage for the first ever Squiz Kids live show. Tickets have been selling like hotcakes, so I can't wait to meet each and every one of you as we bring to life on stage all the best bits of the podcast. Did I mention there's going to be a real-life snake and tortoise on stage thanks to our friends at Canberra Zoo? And a cool science experiment live on stage thanks to our friends at Questacon? And a daytime disco? Be sure to bring your dancing pants. It's all happening this Saturday, which means if you want to be part of a live podcast recording, then you better get your tickets quick smart. Come with your family, come with your friends, get your teachers to organise the entire class to come along with special group booking discounts, because it's gonna be super fun. Tickets available via our website squizkids.com.au or via the link in our episode notes. And yes, we are planning other shows for other capital cities in the new year, so stay tuned for those.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What unusual place have dogs been going with their owners this week? Yeah, that's right, they've been going to church. Question number 2. A fake video of what sort of snake chasing a man in South America has been doing the rounds of TikTok? Yeah, well done if you said python. Question number 3. What's the name of the bear that won this year's Fat Bear Week? Yep, her name is Grazer, because presumably that's what she does.
Shout-outs.
It's October 12. The first game of netball's Constellation Cup happens tonight in Melbourne as Australia takes on New Zealand. Come on, the Diamonds. It's also a special day for these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today. Victor from Sydney, Harriet from Junee, Maddie G from Mildura, Nina from Abbotsford, Hunter from Orangeville, Ariana from Jindalee, Ruby from Burpengary, Abby from Melbourne, and Leah from Middleton Grange. A belated birthday shout out today goes to Aidan from Tarragindi, and a special belated shout out to Molly from Newcastle, who is very excited about travelling down to Canberra this weekend for the live show on Saturday. Cannot wait to meet you, Molly. And of course, we're still working through our belated birthday shout-outs for those Squiz kids who celebrated a birthday during the recent school holidays, including Quashula from Oak Park, Ava from Tarrington, Liam and Ali from Junee, Isaac from Barden, Charlie and Luella from Mount Gravatt, Eden from Tanamera, Riley from Molondina, Addison from Bolwarra, Zara from Brisbane, Arlo from Camaray, Harry from Rosemount, Sophia from Caversham, Grace from Albion Park, Charlotte from Victoria, Hunter from Campbelltown, and Cecile from Dulwich Hill. And a special note, the classroom shoutouts will resume next Monday. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Kids versus Adult Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to test who's been paying the most attention to the week in news that just was. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.